make everything look good, including being overweight. So, scientifically, you cannot drink alkaline water and it makes your cells alkalytic. The closer you are to nature, the healthier you'll be.
All right, and happy Saturday, everyone. You are in the Mind of Nature, hosted by Dr. Zarif, the nutritionist. Hello, Grand Rising, good morning, and all the things. We are going to be talking about a few subjects. First off, eat whole, nutrient dense foods. Okay. Also, we're going to be talking about moving your body daily because we already know that is very important. Getting 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep and also manage stress and maintain positive social relationships. We are going to be talking about all those things. Go ahead as you are coming in, share the live. Go ahead and drop a comment. Let us know where you're tuning in from, all the things. And don't forget to like the live as well. It really does help whenever we get those things going, sharing, liking, and commenting. All right. So, again, we are live streaming on Facebook and we're on YouTube. So, Dr. Zarif, go ahead and join me here on stage so we can get started. Grand Rising to you.
Grand Rising, and happy Independence Day. And
Mm.
I'll break that down even a little more as we go along. We want to thank everybody for getting up this morning and actually joining us on this early morning where you can sleep in. You don't have to go into work, and you're on your way out to the park or the ocean, what have you. We are very fortunate that you are here to share with us some information. I'm going to get right into it, and then we're going to take a little break and we're going to give some shout outs. But I want to get into this because this is something that I think that you'll agree that it is very necessary to hear about more about for the 4th of July than just firecrackers. So
Yeah.
we're gonna go ahead and do a little bit so that we can get people involved. So we'll start off with a nice, and if if I talk about something and you feel your stomach doing something like that, wow, I'm hitting the spot. Okay, so make sure that you sit back, relax, and let's go ahead and go for it. Now, when it comes to July the 4th, there's several influential black leaders and activists and that have been quite important. They've been wonderful connections to July the 4th, although relatively few were actually born or died on that date. The black leaders that were born on July the 4th, we'll start off with Bill Withers. You remember Bill Withers, Ain't No Sunshine, and you've heard, on Lean On Me. These are some of the songs that he's known for. While primarily a musician, his work is often addressed with dignity and resilience and the black experience in America. Then we have Malia. Malia Obama she was born July the 4th, 1998. Although not an activist herself, she is a part of the most historically significant black families in modern American political history. Yes, this is a young lady that will find out as our experience of history goes on. I'm sure she'll be making history. She'll be doing things that stand out and thinking from a higher place. Now, as far as some of the black leaders that are closely associated with July the 4th is Frederick Douglass. Now, Douglass was not born on July the 4th, and his exact birthday, well, people don't really have it. It's not recorded. And as a matter of fact, it goes on unknown. He became forever linked into the Independence Day through his famous 1852 speech. And the title of that was "What to a Slave is the 4th of July." In that speech, he challenged America to live up to its promises of liberty while millions of black people remained enslaved. Now, then there was Medgar Evers. Medgar Evers, on July the 4th, 1963, Evers was just posthumously awarded. And he was awarded the NAACP's prestigious Spingarn Medal. He had been assassinated just weeks earlier on June the 12th, 1963, for his civil rights work in Mississippi. This is Medgar Evers, and he was shot right in his home as he was getting out of his car. Yeah, we won't get into the whole story, but you get the idea. There's no widely recognized national black civil rights leaders on the level of Frederick Douglass and Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, Medgar Evers, Fannie Lou Hamer, Thurgood Marshall, and John Lewis, who are commonly documented as having died on July the 4th. Now, most famous July 4th deaths in American history involve the presidents. And that was President, you have like President John Adams and President Thomas Jefferson. They, if you look at that, these were two guys that used to be president, and they both died on the same day, July the 4th, 1826. And then you had James Monroe, which is also a former president. He died July the 4th, 1831. It's just like, what, about 5 years after the death of John Adams and Thomas Jefferson. The historic significance of July the 4th to Americans would be that for many black Americans, July 4th actually carries a dual meaning. And this meaning, one of the meanings, I would say the first one would be that it celebrates the nation's founding and the ideals for liberty. Not that they actually happened, but they're some of the ideals, the standards of liberty. And it also reminds people that African Americans remained enslaved long after 1776. So we, of course, the Emancipation Proclamation was signed then for the freedom to free slaves, but it was long after 1776 that it was taken into, that it was serious. The police still acted the same. Ku Klux Klan still were hanging people. There were still riots. We were still being arrested because there weren't any addresses that we were connected with, like I'm going home to my mother's house or I'm going home to my cousin's house until I get myself together. As a matter of fact, they made that a law that any black people that did not have an address to go to, they were arrested for loitering. This tension expressed most powerfully by Frederick Douglass when he asked, "What to American slaves is the 4th of July?" Like, what is it to them? You know, like, what does it mean to you? So his speech remains one of the most influential addresses in Black American history and is still widely read every Independence Day. Now, this question about whether or not food is connected with people that are influential, and that those people that are very famous, well, it's really very few leaders and activists that can conclusively be said that they died directly because of unhealthy eating habits. In most cases, death certificates that list causes such as heart disease, stroke, hypertension, diabetes, complications, and kidney failure or cancer, but not specific food. Therefore, it would be inaccurate to just claim that a particular leader died because they ate a specific food. However, the several prominent black leaders and activists and public figures suffered from diseases strongly associated with long-term dietary patterns, obesity, hypertension, diabetes, and cardiovascular disease. Some of the examples are, we start off with John Singleton. Now, John Singleton is the acclaimed filmmaker. He died in 2019 following a stroke, and his family acknowledged a history of hypertension, which is high blood pressure, and high sodium intake, obesity, diabetes, and poor dietary patterns are recognized contributors to hypertension and stroke risk. Commonly, dietary contributions include excess sodium, fast food, fried foods, sugar sweetened beverages, and highly processed meats. Then there is also Fannie Lou Hamer. Now, Fannie Lou Hamer lived with diabetes and hypertension later in life. While her death cannot be attributed solely to diet, these conditions are strongly associated with dietary and lifestyle factors. Historic accounts also note that poverty and limited access to health care affected her health. And this was the time when you had to go to the black hospital or you had to go to the white hospital. And white people went to, of course, the white hospital, and black people went to a black hospital or whatever was set up in that community. It might have been a clinic, or many people were seen by nurses or anyone that had some kind of medical knowledge that they could help the community at that time. We've gotten into some of those things. We'll talk about those things later. But for now, we want to move on to Dick Gregory. And Dick Gregory, I had the pleasure of meeting while I was on the road with Stevie Wonder. Interestingly, Gregory, he actually became one of the most outspoken advocates for healthier eating and plant-based nutrition. Way before we start talking about it, way before we start arguing and debating over what we should eat and what we shouldn't eat, and what is and what isn't good for you. His later life message was largely a response to witnessing widespread diet-related disease in America. This guy was, or this brother, my dear brother, he was definitely wise. He spread great news. Many of the times he would say things that make the information palatable. Like I find myself laughing when he talked about certain things, but his understanding about how foods affect our bodies was one of the few people that led in plant-based nutrition. And what a gift if you had a chance to hear him talk. Now, foods most frequently linked to diet related disease, according to research from the NIH and JAMA, the foods most strongly associated with heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes mortality include excess consumption, overdoing it. You're glutting, you're eating until your stomach feel like it's going to burst. The sugar sweetened beverages, processed meats such as lunch meats, hot dogs, sausage, bacon, excess sodium, fast foods, deep fried foods, refined grains, excess sweets, and desserts. Now, some of the insufficient consumption, meaning that on one side we talked about overconsumption, but when it comes to the insufficient consumption, of course, we have a little short list of some of the healthy foods or the food groups: fruit, vegetables, whole grains, beans and legumes, nuts and seeds. And these are the areas that we need to increase. You will see people that when you notice, if you've gone to these large dinners, they'll have something that maybe some sliced melon, or they'll have other different types of kumquats, or they'll have plums, and they'll have kiwi, and a variety of things, a variety of foods, a variety of fruit, but everybody kind of eats them as a token. It's very seldom that you see a person that has more fruit and vegetables on the plate than they do meat. So we continue learning. Let's move on to the challenges facing many of the black communities today. Well, the public health researchers, they consistently report the higher rates of hypertension, of obesity, of stroke, type 2 diabetes, and heart attack. Now, among black Americans compared with many other groups, this is something that, is pretty much common, but we need to change it so it's not common anymore. The reasons are complex, and they include food excess, economic factors along with stress, healthcare disparities, historical inequities, and dietary patterns. So these is not just we don't eat better because there are so many food deserts, or all these other excuses. We just allow, or our communities allow, the place where we live. You have to look a little deeper. There's politics everywhere, and that those politics can pretty much guide or select for someone's making selections for us in the black community of what we're going to have a choice, a selection of. So many of us do have those groceries in the neighborhoods that are filled with very healthy food. And we're seeing more and more organic. We're seeing more and more supplements, and it's great to have that acknowledgement. But we got a long ways to go. Examples often discussed by the public health experts include frequent consumption of fast foods, large portions of fried foods, sugary drinks replacing water, heavy sodium intake, the low fruit and vegetable consumption, limited access to fresh foods in some neighborhoods. Now, that's not a big excuse. Now, we have many programs. Now, I'm not going to say many. I think that's a stretch, but we do have some programs that are very effective they're called food banks. And sometimes the farmers market at the end of that day, when you have a farmers market, they may be getting rid of or give you even better deals, because of course they don't want to take all of this food back to the farm. So support your local farmers, Very, very important. I think that food is beautiful, especially when you take care of it. It will take care of you. A historical irony that many major black leaders actually spent their lives fighting for civil rights and voting rights and education and economic opportunity and freedom, but relatively few focus specifically on nutrition. Just seems to lack the entertainment that most people are looking for. And the music, the dancing, and all that, we do that super well, better than most groups on the entire planet. We're incredible with that. But in recent decades, the health advocates have increasingly argued that chronic diseases such as obesity, and this obesity, you've been hearing this for a long time, and some people have made that commonplace for them because they get the kind of attention that they want being obese. Nevertheless, it's accompanied with hypertension and stroke and diabetes represent some of the major threats of black longevity and quality of life. Research shows that poor diet is a significant contributor to these conditions and to premature death across the United States. Now, a common message from the black health advocates today is that improving health outcomes involve. This is what it involves. It involves more whole plant foods, more water. We talk about hydration all the time. More physical activity, getting your body in motion, better sleep, sleeping deeply, not that broken up sleep that you're up every 3 hours, being disturbed or having to urinate. Less processed food, less added sugar, less sodium, and these changes are associated with lower risk of heart disease, stroke, obesity, type 2 diabetes. And I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about the 4 principles of health. You've heard these before, but we need to iterate these because practice or repetition is the master of study. So we're going to talk about some of the 4 principles. We're going to talk about there's 4, so we'll talk about all 4 principles. Okay, I'm going to go back to Carolyn and we'll be right back at you.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Zarif. Great information. And hello and good morning, grand rising to everyone here. You are in the Mind of Nature, hosted by Dr. Zarif, the nutritionist, and we are live streaming on Facebook and on YouTube. And I'm sure everyone's preparing or getting ready for the holiday. Just be safe out there is what I say. Be safe. Keep your head on the swivel. All right, because holidays can tend to bring out more people than usual. But thank you all so much for joining us. And even those watching the replays, thank you all so much. We really do appreciate it. Just a reminder, whenever you come in, go ahead and drop a comment. Also, you can like the live, that helps as well. And sharing the live also helps. So, yes, absolutely. We need all those things to be able to help to get the message out that Dr. Zarif is sharing with all of us. Dr. Zarif, back to you.
Hey, hey, how are you? Did you forget my name?
Yeah,
Benny?
I'm tired.
Hey, we got to get that energy up. That's what it's about this morning. Just pump that self up. A lot of you, if you're going to bed real late and then you're getting up like, we're getting up, take time to take that deep breath in, get some fresh water on the side. Make sure that you are allowing the information to come in and let's make the best out of it. It's okay.
Yeah.
We know that it's not the easiest thing to get up early, but we appreciate it. We get up early so we can get more done. Remember, we've been doing this for years and we've been coming to you without any complaints of getting up early, or we don't have this, or we don't have that. We take what we have and we make the best out of it.
Yes.
So,
Hey, Shirley, gentle, smart. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
okay, so that's what we just want to kind of give that to you so we keep ourselves up, okay? Because it's one of the things that will keep us moving forward. Go ahead, you had shout out.
Just shouting out Shirley, gentle, smart. Happy fourth. Good morning to you.
Woohoo! Great. And everybody else that that's just creeping out of bed, let me hear something from you. Get a comment or a question or some feedback, so we can have a light conversation here. That's what makes all this stuff really happen. Is us, not just me, not just Carolyn, but us, all of us. We want you to get into the groove of things, and your contributions make a real big difference. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. So we
In-house.
have. Do you have? Pardon me.
I said that's the in-house audience.
All right. Yeah, that's our in-house, and you see they're up and they're
Yes.
ready to go. And so if you feel that you got that kind of, then it's real easy to. All right, get it up, get it up. All right, everybody, we got wonderful people here. Happy Fourth to you also, Claudie Knox in the house. Thank you so much for that happy Fourth wish. We're going to continue, everybody. I also want to. We have a new youngest member, I believe, Noah Smart is. Of course, that's really a wonderful gift to have on. Yay! Let's give it up for him. Let's give it up for him. Right. There you go. Right there. Welcome, 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 Noah, and congratulations for your promotion in school. Also, you moved up,
Mhm.
and the entire family is brilliant and has the nerve to have the last name Smart. That's wow, they ain't wasting time with it. I'm smart. Don't play with me.
Right.
All right, that's good. Love them, love them, love them. So I'll shout out to the beautiful smart family, and I'm going to go ahead. Let's get back into this so everybody will get a piece of this pie. Okay, so we want to talk about those four principles of health. Now, this is really important because this is really what makes it work. If you're not doing these four things, if you're not doing a combination of things, and you're just eating maybe nutrient dense food, oh, yeah, that's good. Some people say, I eats good. Well, if you eat good, we want you to eat healthy. Eating good usually signifies that a person they eat until they're satisfied, and that to them means eating good. However, we're talking about the health, we're talking about the nutrients, we're talking about the balance of foods. So eat whole, nutrient dense foods. So nutrient dense foods, along with moving your body every day and getting 7 to 9 hours of rest every day. Also to manage the stress and to maintain the positive social relationships are super important. Fortunately, I have a beautiful family that I can always reach out to and talk to, my wonderful relatives and wonderful people that I love. And then I have other family that are on different parts of the planet, and I reach out and say hello to them, send them. We have always, you can go Zoom, or you can face to face on your smartphone. There's a lot of ways to stay in contact. So keep that in mind. Everybody, look up here. I got a little bit for you. I changed the chart a little bit for you. This is the rhythmic ingestion system. And this system is really important because it shows you what and when to eat. So we've been just taught like, hey, you get up, breakfast. In the middle of your day or a few hours after that is lunch. Before you go to bed is dinner. This seems to work, but it is not. And you see in the right hand corner here, you have the average waking time. Well, I, Dr. Zarif, the nutritionist, actually discovered the rhythmic ingestion system, which you'll hear more about later on this year. But in it, in resolving not knowing when to eat and what to eat, I've put together a chart within this chart, and it gives you your average waking time. Let's go to the first line right here. If you get up at 5 a.m., that means that your cutoff time is going to be 5 p.m. Okay? If you get up at 5 p.m., that means your cutoff time will be 5 a.m. Okay? We worked it in 12 hours. Okay? And you look all the way down. Most people get up in the world, around the world, at 6 a.m. 6 a.m. That is the most common. And if you're getting up at 6, you're going to have your cutoff time will be 6 p.m. and vice versa. And that's all the way down where you can definitely get an idea of how to calculate when you should eat and when you don't. So your very first hour, the meal, the reason that in the morning, this is when you're stretching, this is when you're getting your body warm, this is when you're getting ready for the rest of the day. Is you're fresh, you're in the shower. This is a good time because you're starting over, you're refreshing yourself. You're recharging yourself, you're renewing yourself. All of these things are happening. Remember, start off with make sure you have water, you have fruit. You can also have hot cereal. There's other things that you can have too, but just to keep it simplified, I'm going to leave it like that for now. You have the third and the fifth hour. The third and the fifth hour, this is when your body is warming up, your muscles are warming up, your brain right now is, the brain waves are moving faster. They're now being active where you can pay attention, you can focus, you can also respond to certain things faster because you are alert and alive. And then we have the largest meal. This is during the seventh hour of your day. So if you get up at 6 a.m., right here, your seventh hour would be at 12 p.m. And from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m., you're going to eat your largest meal. And that is a combination of protein rich foods, carbohydrate rich foods, and vegetables, not fruit, vegetables. All of the fruit, the best time to eat fruit is earlier in the day when you're starting up the hill. You see up the pyramid here? And that's why it's important to reach the peak of the pyramid along with the sun. The sun is at the zenith, the highest point, and the seventh hour meal or the largest meal should be in the middle of your day. Now, if you want to stay lean and run lean, which means that this is the ideal level to run on. You'll rest for 3 hours after your seventh hour meal, and then you'll have your 10th hour bridge. Now, your third, your fifth, and your 10th, these are all snacks. These are all snacks, and you'll see it says bridge. And the reason that it says bridge is because it connects you from one meal to another without you getting hungry. The idea is not to be hungry. The idea is to eat so that you will not be hungry, not wait until you get hungry and say, oh man, I'm famished. I need something to eat. I'm hungry. I'm starving, all those kinds of things. But it really comes down to it that you've eaten enough. And when you do eat, first of all, you don't have to eat as much. When you go a long time without calculating when the next meal is coming, it is very easy for you to overeat. because you're thinking, look, I'll eat a little more and there I won't get hungry later on. I got more food to digest. But the body usually doesn't work like that because the body is metabolizing what you just ate. And yes, sometimes it takes longer because the food is there in your stomach and is breaking down and all the wonderful things that happen as far as metabolism. But there are still things that you want to do. You want to eat very lightly as you we go on to the 12th and 13th hour. This is your cutoff hour. The 12th is when it starts. The 13th is your cutoff hour. This is very important because people usually, when I say people, I mean us, we overdo it and we eat this large amount of food before going to bed, when actually we should have tea or soup or a nice salad. You can even have a hot cereal here, especially if you're in colder regions of the nation. Next, we have some of the meat, the poultry, the fish. Well, we know that meat can be contaminated from all the callbacks we have. We know that poultry, the same thing. Fish, we know that there is a lot of pollution in the water, and we know that soda can wreck your digestive system, and it can also give you bad oral hygiene. So these are just some of the things. These are facts. These are not just my opinion. Like, oh, he is gonna try to make us eat. I don't give a squat about that. If you want to wreck your life, that's your right. Just like it's my right if I want to take care of my physicality. So or anything else. So keep in mind that you want to have your water all the way through. I'll just say sip it through the day. It's still pretty much common to have one glass, an 8-ounce glass of water. Now, a lot of people still don't drink that, drink enough of that, but their body is absorbing water from the food that they eat, the different types of food that they eat. We want to exclude some of those foods, like the food you get from the food truck or the foods that you get on the street. I was in Newark, and Newark is, if you haven't been there yet, I'll leave the excitement to you, but they're like people that are selling sandwiches, and they're selling different pizza and other things that you can buy for a quick snack right next to a pile of rubbish. And this is common. This like is to me is nasty because the whatever's back in that pile is in the air. If you have food and you got all of that bacteria, that's going to affect the food. And when do they go to the bathroom? And how do you know they wash their hands to the point that you don't have to worry about it? All of these things can definitely that can make you say, dang, what am I supposed to do? But we educate ourselves so we can make better decisions. And that's what it's all about. Then at the end of the chart here, I might make these available for everybody. So they will be, but we'll have them available on drsarif.com. So you can actually put this on your smartphone and get used to it, okay? All right. Energy is super important. A steady energy throughout the day. Weight management supports your healthy weight and metabolism. Digestion and detox. Now, when I say detox, I'm talking about you taking something in order to make your bowels move. But the detox is just one of the many functions of your organs. And they have some of those organs that focus more on digesting the food and regulating bowel movement. Then we have the mental clarity and focus, which is very important. It enhances focus, mood, and cognitive performance. Then we have the long-term health, which supports longevity, immunity, and overall well-being. So when we look at this, timing is as important as what you eat. The timing is as important as what you eat. So just don't get up out of bed and go straight to the refrigerator for a peanut butter sandwich, or get straight out of the bed and you go in for a soda. I've seen young people just, especially youngsters, drink sodas every day, 3 and 4 sodas a day. You're wrecking your system. You will find out if you don't stop and you change that behavior. You will find out through the lack of dental hygiene. You will find out from some of the other things like type 2 diabetes, like obesity, like atherosclerosis, and on and on. So there, I'm going back to Carolyn now and see if we have any comments, and then we're going to get right back to it. Carolyn?
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Zarif. I don't see any comments right now. Again, we are live streaming on Facebook and on YouTube. Um, and if there are any comments or questions, just go ahead and drop them and we will respond, or Dr. Zarif will respond to them.
Okay.
But when you mentioned or you're going over the chart, is that's kind of, or it reminds me of the one that you and Dr. James talked about earlier in the year, and that was like the pyramid, so to speak. You know how they have it like set up in a way, but they flipped it around or something like that to where it no longer um puts what is it, veggies and everything at the top. It puts meat at the top. So it kind of reminds me of that, but just because it's like that pyramid or like that chart to show you how to eat. So, in my opinion, we should definitely go with the chart that you have versus the one that they have out now, because that one is going to lead you in the wrong direction.
Definitely, and thank you very much for that. That's a compliment. One of the things that's really important too is that there's actually more to it than this. If you look here, one of the things that I don't have on here is exercise and sleep, and I don't talk about the human touch here because this is all about eating and energy, catabolism, metabolism. This is all very important. And I appreciate Carolyn, that wonderful compliment. And I continue to use, you will see the pyramid shape goes on way before people were calling the way that we eat by the use of the pyramid. This is really, we're talking about the sun. If you've studied anything about Black history, there's a lot. The sun is talked about a lot. The pyramids are talked about a lot. And the foods that we eat has a lot to do with how long these particular tribes lived and how healthy they were. We had a lot of people that were very healthy, but that the lifestyle that sometimes it was not what they've chosen, but they actually they're in a situation where they need to live
Hmm.
and they need to have something to face the challenges of living. So you have they are eating a lot of different types of food in order to keep living, but it's in the struggle, or it's also in the things that are they force people to eat a certain way. Now, the body actually tends to accumulate excess body fat when the fundamental principles of health are consistently neglected. While different health models define these principles differently, a common framework includes number one, proper nutrition. When a person regularly consumes more calories than the body uses, especially from highly processed foods rich in sugar, refined carbohydrates, and unhealthy fats, The excess energy is stored as body fat. Now, we talked about that before. When you're overeating, you're overdoing it, you're glutting, and all of that energy is either you're going to use it in motion, your activity, or your body's going to do what? Is going to store it. Now, some of the effects, the increased fat storage, elevated blood sugar and insulin levels, increased risk of obesity and metabolic disorders. So all of this is very important when we're talking about proper nutrition, ideal nutrition. Let's go on to number 2, physical activity. The muscles are major consumers of energy, and when physical activity is reduced, fewer calories are burned and the body's metabolic efficiency declines. Again, muscles are the major consumers energy. Muscles are the major consumers of energy. We use more muscle for energy, and the energy that we have is for the muscles that are, or the leanness in our body. It all works together. When the physical activity is reduced, like when you're not, sarcopenia, for instance, when you're not making or synthesizing more muscles and you're not moving about and there's a lack of physical activity, fewer calories are burned and the body's metabolic efficiency declines. Now, here we're talking about a little bit effects right fast, and that's the reduced calories expenditure, the loss of lean muscle mass. These are some of the things that I'm repeatedly saying, but it's purposeful because the more you hear it, the more you'll get used to it. Additionally, the increased body fat percentage and lower metabolism. Now, when it comes to moving the body, as you see here, there are a lot of things that you can do. Walk, dance, strength train. You can play sports, cycle. You can stretch and mobility. That's the different movements. Everybody got their own thing. Some people do it through yoga. Some have special stretch classes. And you can also add in active with your family, which is one of my favorites. I love it. I love going to the bubble run and doing some of the different things to support the different cancer associations, and the things that you do with family. Is just a lot of fun. Plan on doing something and getting out and doing it. I'm talking to those who caught up in aloneism. You're not around people, or you're not talking to people. You're not spending your time with people around you. Before I forget, I do want to say happy birthday to Nita, and thank you so much for all of your help in the backup community. Backup is an organization that looks out for our elders, and we are in a neighborhood near you. Every move counts, and the lifestyle, your lifestyle should definitely include some of the things that we just talked about. Don't just live longer, live stronger. Move the body, and your future will just really thank you, because that's what you should be doing all throughout your life. So don't lose your energy, or don't lose your youth because you're around people that think about who you're talking to and who you're listening to. Because if you're hanging around people that are in a slump or in a dump, if they just can't break out of attitude and they constantly complain, I'm too old for this, I don't need to do this. I'm really too old for it. Get away from those folks. Get around other people that are out there going. Remember balance. That's what's really important. Balance. Don't get in a situation where You're just a person that doesn't do enough or a person that does too much. Okay. All right. We're almost there, everybody. It's 8:52 in the AM PST. You are watching and listening to The Mind of Nature. I'm Dr. Zarif. I am the nutritionist, and my co-sponsor here, or co-host, is the wonderful Carolyn in the house. We're doing a lot of stuff today because we know that you're going to be out there doing some things. So let's finish so we can let you get out into your beautiful day, or just take the phone along with you and listen to us like that. The third thing, because we've already talked about one and two, proper nutrition and physical activity. Now, number three is restorative sleep. Now, sleep regulates your hormones, and that involves an appetite and your metabolism. So if you don't have a good appetite, it could be because you're not getting enough sleep. If you're not breaking down foods and you're very flatulent, you have a lot of gas, then it could be, again, more restorative sleep, and that means to sleep deeply undisturbed. This is very important. Now, you can't, sometimes things happen that's out of your control, but those things that you control them. Chronic sleep deprivations can disrupt these hormones and the increasing hunger and the cravings. Here are, some of the effects. Increased ghrelin. The ghrelin is actually the hunger hormone. Decreased leptin. Leptin is the satiety hormone. That satiety just simply means that you're satisfied from the taste and satisfied from the portion, the amount, satisfied from the flavor. Increased cravings for sugar and fatty foods. So that when you are some of the effects of increased cravings for sugar and fatty foods. Now, this will get into more hormones, the feel-good hormone like dopamine, for instance. Some people become addicted to certain things, and they can't wait for that rush of that particular feel-good hormone. Now, number four is stress management and healthy social connections. I did miss one. I wanted to talk about go back here just for a second, if you will, the greater fat accumulation, especially around the abdomen. This is really important. If you're a woman and you're not, like extra tall, like a woman is usually an average of 5'4", I think, and men are an average of 5'11", somewhere in there, and it's really important to know that within those averages, that a woman's waist should not exceed 40 inches in waistline, because when she does, it increases her risk of disease. 40 inches. Some people haven't put a measure tape to their waist for months, maybe even years. Get back on the case of taking care of yourself. Then you have a man should not go past 44 inches in his waist. So keeping that waistline down, not asking you to be a professional athlete, but I am saying do the things that will help you to reduce the risk of infection and disease, okay? Again, as far as the stress management and healthy social connections, the effects are increased emotional eating. And that's, people eating when they aren't hungry, but they're eating to satisfy a certain feeling. And that might be loneliness. That might be anger. That might be depression. It can be several things. Elevated cortisol levels. That's when a person is worried about something, or a person is angry, a person is depressed. You will produce more cortisol. And these hormones are real because they can increase the abdominal fat storage, or the abdomen fat that surrounds your body. Some people call them love handles, but enough of the joke. Do something about it. Increase abdominal fat storage, along with the reduced motivation of exercise and self-care. Exercise should be, some people do it and it's just a hobby. This should be a way that you live on a daily basis. Okay, we're looking good here. We're almost there as we go into get at least 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep. And when you get that quality sleep, oh man, everything else seems to get right in place. The benefits of quality sleep: to improve your memory focus, it strengthens your immune system, and supports your heart health, and it helps to regulate your blood pressure. And people laying in the bed and all sick and moaning and groaning, but they don't do anything, or they don't do enough of something. Get up, get busy, and do it constantly. This is something that you do over and over, not because you felt good on that Tuesday and maybe somewhere down the line you'll do it again. It should be a part of it. And this way you will find yourself, you will increase your focus. You will have more cravings for, I don't want to say craving for healthy foods, but you have a good balance of those things that you should be eating versus having a craving. A craving is different than being hungry. When you're hungry, your body is telling you that you need more energy. But when you're craving, your brain is telling you that you need more dopamine. Don't get it twisted. It is easy to mess up with that, and keep those things in mind. If you want a quality life, quality body, get some quality sleep. Now, how does the fat actually accumulate? The fat accumulates when the 4 principles are ignored. With the same principles that we've been talking about, the body is often experiencing something that will cause excess calorie intake, reduced calorie expenditure, hormonal imbalances affecting hunger and satiety, and the increased inflammation and stress hormones. Now, over time, the body stores the unused energy as triglycerides in fat cells. Now, remember, they're in the fat cells. The unused energy as triglycerides in the fat cells. Now, the fat cells enlarge and the fat cells they enlarge and they may increase in number, leading to weight gain and obesity. So you can pretty much expect that if you are negating working out, walking, eating healthier food. Don't do this great workout and then you're going to get some fries, some onion rings, some donuts, some shrimp with some fried chicken and all of those things. I know some of your mouth's watering just from me saying it, but if you are, it's the best time to get those things changed now. Now look at the proper nutrition here. Your vegetables, all the different colors. Your fruit of vitamins, minerals, fibers, and antioxidants. This is really great. Antioxidants just simply means that you're protecting the injury to your cells. You're protecting against disease. You're protecting against the types of infections that one can get. Okay? And then you have your beans, your healthy fatty acids. And yes, not aloe, but avocado is just one of my favorites because it has the vitamins, minerals, and it also has the good oils, which are called omega-3s. Now, here with lean proteins, I do not ascribe to eating dairy products, nor do I ascribe to eat any of these the meats and the different steaks and all that. Now, some people say, I got to eat it. They'll tell me that they have to eat it. I don't have a problem doing it with if a person, that's what they want to do, but do it responsibly. Eat smaller amounts. And this way you will help to avoid some of the, eating a certain amount and you end up having these different, like callbacks. And then when you have a callback, they're saying that the meat was infected with E. coli or Shigella, Salmonella, and you're eating that there's nothing to it. The last thing I want to do before we get out of here is talk about the manage stress and maintain your positive social relationships. Really important. A calm mind and strong connections help you to live longer, feel better, and stay healthier. As simple as that. Sit down with some friends. Don't always I don't like small talk. I straight up, I don't like small talk. I want to talk about something that I can learn something from you or that I can teach something to you. I don't want just hey, so what's been going on? Because all people are going to talk about is the weather and the problems that we have. And I don't want to do that. What I do want to talk about, if I talk about something that is difficult, what is the resolution to that? I don't want to spend all my day talking about what you should do, what you could do, and what you didn't do. Okay, so keep that in mind here. The positive relationships, beautiful families, like we talk about. Back to the smart family, we give so much thanksgiving for such a wonderful family. Great example of the way that things are when they're balanced and you loving and learning and growing. So very wonderful. And then we have other people too that maybe have smaller families. It's still important to be around those people that love life, that respect life, and express life. Now, why doesn't knowing what to eat and when to eat is so important is what you eat provides the raw materials your body uses to build, to repair, to protect, and to energize yourself. Every cell, every tissue, every organ, hormone, enzyme, muscle, and nerve depends on nutrients from food. All of it, every tissue, all of it depends on the nutrients from foods. And when the meals are built around whole, nutrient-dense foods such as fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grains, nuts, seeds, and adequate water, don't forget about hydration, the body receives the vitamins and minerals, fibers, antioxidants, phytonutrients that are all needed to function efficiently. Choosing the right foods consistently, it helps to soothe or support the healthy digestion, stable energy, immune function, cardiovascular health, and a healthy body composition. Now that's it for today here on Mind of Nature, and we really appreciate you being here. Take some of the things that you've heard today and put them in motion. Just don't go sit on your hands. Put them in motion. You can start today, and we're going to go back to Carolyn for our sign off.
Thank you so much, Dr. Zarif. There is a question in the chat from Claudie, and the question is, when we age, does our body composition significantly change?
When we age, excuse me, I had something in my throat.
It's okay. I'll read it again. It says, when we age, does our body composition significantly change?
Yes, that's really good. The composition, that's a really good that you use in that, Claudia, because yes, that means that the parts does change. Like for instance, where we used to have more, like in guys, you have more testosterone. Well, you don't make as much testosterone because when you get older, we get less and less testosterone, and that's why also the behavior of a man is different than a boy, or the behavior is different from a woman than just a girl. because the body's composition does change. So the answer to that is yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much. And again, thank you to everyone that joined us here in the Mind of Nature. We appreciate every comment, every share. Um, just comments, shares, and likes. We appreciate those because they really do help with us being introduced to other people on different platforms. So we go live. I was going to say Monday through Friday. Not yet. We go
You a little tired today, aren't you?
say it again.
You're a little tired today, aren't you?
I'm fine. I mean, winding down to the weekend. So, yes, it's been a long week, but it's all good.
All right.
But we go live every Saturday, 8 a.m. Pacific time. So thank you all so much. Dr. Zari, do you have something?
Yeah, do you want to tell everybody what else you may be doing or anything that you're doing, your company is doing that you want them to know?
Well, yes, I go live Monday through Friday on TikTok. And so that's what I do. My company is Sky Aim Productions, and I help people learn how to create engaging content and post, learning how to edit and things like that. So that is what I do um, as far as my company, and that's Monday through Friday, and I go live on TikTok doing that. So thank you for that,
Yeah.
Dr. Zara.
Well, I also want to tell people, oh well, you tell people about what else. There's a little game that you play or something that people get involved with, and
Oh,
uh, there you go.
well, yes, it's on TikTok and it's called battling.
All right, there you go.
TikTok battling. So I do that as well. It's Sky Aim Productions is that's my handle on TikTok. So if
Yeah.
you're into battling on TikTok, yeah, that's what I do as well.
Beautiful, right? So she's an influencer. She also is a company owner. She owns her own company. She works for herself. She has other things that's going on too, but we just drop them little by little. For right now, definitely come in and uh, come on and check her out. Well, how can they find out where you are?
It would be on TikTok, and the handle is Sky Aim Productions. That's my handle, so it's right here actually. You would just put like the at in front of it, Sky Aim Productions, and you can contact me on TikTok as well.
Beautiful.
Or
And
it can just be or Sky Aim Productions at gmail .com if there's any kind of like if you want to email me because I also do like video production services for anyone that's available interested.
wow, that's great. You're a busy woman. Thank you so much, Carolyn. Really appreciate it. I want to remind everybody, make sure you get my book, Slaves of the Tongue. Yeah, I mean, this will really help you keep you on point. DrZarif.com in the house. That's what we do. You can turn to this book at any page, and it'll start off here. Anything that you read on here is just really incredible. I just turned this page, and it says the true name is sucrose, and its chemical formula is, and then it goes C12. H22011, and it talks about the chemical breakdown, and then LDL cholesterol here, niacin, the meat where it comes from, non-sift cereals and grains. I mean, just everywhere. Xanthan gum, the most common stabilizer and thickener. You heard of xanthan gum?
Mm-hmm. I have.
And the weight, the gain of uh, children during childhood, regain grains, trans fats, egg whites, parsnips, taro, um, all of these things. And then, of course, it tells you when to eat and what to eat. And this is, you're going to hear more from me now. I am working on a project that keeps me preoccupied, but I want to keep this, get this so that you can add it to your library and learn more. Okay, that's it for this wonderful Saturday. Get out there and enjoy yourselves. Thank you for being here on Minds of Nature. And we had a great time. And let me stop doing that because it's not a spooky. I don't want you to think that we're playing. We actually have very serious content, and it's very important for not just you, but it's important for us too. What is Claudie Knox is saying? What?
Claudia says, I need a new one. My granddaughter borrowed mine.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Go to the doctorsarif.com and just add it. We get it straight out to you. Okay. All right. So thank you very much, everybody. Share, love, focus, give praise and thanksgiving for this beautiful day and all the moments in it. I'm Dr. Zarif, the nutritionist.